Hello, Mr. Wartsky here, and today we're going to briefly talk about standard deviation. Now, from now on, when we do labs, we will be calculating a standard deviation before we graph. Exciting, I know. So, standard deviation, we're going to look at how tight or spread out our data is for each lab. The standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is the variance? And that is the average of the square difference from the mean. And what is the mean? The average. Well, okay, so how do we go about doing standard deviation? First thing you need to do is calculate the mean of all your data. So you're going to calculate the average by adding everything up and dividing it by the number of things that you added. So we're going to take a look at the heights. We're going to calculate the standard deviation of the heights for 6 different dogs. They have a range, and the range goes from 250 to 900 millimeters. Okay, so I put them in order from 250, 400, 625, 720, 800, and 900. So I just put, you don't have to, I just did. So the mean is the average, so we add up and we divide by the number of dogs. All right, so that's what I did there. And I have an average of 616 millimeters for the different heights of the dog. What we're going to do is we're going to subtract that average from each of the data points. So I have all the data points there, 720, 625, 800, 400, 250, and 900. And I'm going to subtract. So 720 minus 616 is 104. 625 minus 616 is 9, all the way down. You might want to write this down, by the way. It's always good to write down an example with the steps. Step 3. We're going to take the square of each of the differences. So 104 squared is 10,816. 9 squared is 81. Hope you didn't need a calculator for that one. All the way down. 173,056. That's a lot. Step 4. Find the mean of the squared differences. So I added up all the squared differences and I divided by 6, and I got the average of 57,520. Like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. I know. Step 5, take the square root of the mean of the squared differences. The square root of 57,520 is 240 millimeters, and that is 1 standard deviation. So what does that mean? So the average is 616. So one standard deviation, we add 240 and subtract 240. We go from to 856 down to 376. Is 1 standard deviation from the mean. Now 4 of the 6 dogs fit within that standard deviation. Now, how many dogs fit within 2 standard deviations? So we add 240 and subtract 240. And I think all of our dogs fit into the 2 standard deviations. So let's hear, you give this a try. We have the test scores for my class: 100, smart kid; 95, pretty good; 84, 83, 77, 50, and 42. You can't be the 50 and 42. So calculate the standard deviation of these scores by using the following steps, and hit pause if you need to. You have a total of 531, average is 76. The difference, then what do we do with those differences? We square them. Take the average and find the square root of the average, which is 18. So 1 standard deviation goes from the average is, what did we say the average was? 76. 76 plus 18 is 94. 76 minus 18 is 58. So 4 of the 7 are found within 1 standard deviation. And I think the rest are found within 2. And that's it. So from now on, we will be doing standard deviations. And in class tomorrow, you'll probably have a quiz about standard deviations. But, that's the way I am. If you have any questions, please ask me tomorrow in class or watch the video over again or just take a look at the PowerPoint. It's up to you. Have a good night.